Bye. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to this week's Logos Weekly Update stream. I'm Chair. I'm always here to prop you up. You have been viewing Parallel Society website. Visit ps.logos.co to learn more. Parallel Society rapidly approaches us. Lisbon, March 6th and 7th. Is when, is where, is what Parallel Society will be. Parallel Society is a new type of gathering, bringing together technologists, hackers, ravers, visionaries, radicals, to drive change in a collectively organized way. Parallel Societies is proudly human first, not for profit. It is a temporary autonomous zone where music, art, and technology will converge. Register and buy your tickets now at PS, as you see it scrolling across your screen, ps.logos.co. Learn more, sign up, book your trip. We'll see you there. Day one is an unconference that will have a litany of zones depending on your interests. You will be able to find the activities most closely aligned with you, whether it be community, technology, free and open source software, activism, privacy. Or perhaps there is a topic or activity that you would like to lead that does not conveniently and comfortably fall under one of those previously mentioned zones, and you do have the freedom to create your own activity, to organize your own specific plan. If you are a project or an organization that would like to work closely with Logos as a partner or collaborator, reach out immediately, as we are officially less than 1 month away from Parallel Society. ps.logos.co. Logos is live nearly every weekday, if not indeed every weekday, Monday through Friday. We have Dev Club streams, X Spaces on Tuesdays and Thursdays, hosted by Sterling. We have office hours upcoming this Friday. If you have not yet signed up at logos.co/takeaction, I suggest you do so now, especially if you want to get into that aforementioned office hour session this Friday. But certainly, if you want to be kept up to date and informed, as up to date as possible on all of the things happening within the Logos ecosystem, logos.co/takeaction. Thank you all for joining wherever you may be. The chat function does work. And as Nadim is demonstrating, and I echo their sentiments, I can't wait to be at Parallel Society. Wherever you are watching, you can use the chat, ask questions, give feedback, harsh or otherwise. I'm here for it. Wherever you may be watching, please like, subscribe, share, turn notifications on for the account that you might be viewing. That is among the things that a good Logos community member does. And you are a good Logos community member, aren't you? Today, right now, this is the Logos Technical Weekly Update stream. I will be going across all of the various Logos protocols, covering their progress through the previous week, touching on some highlights and happenings, blog posts, forum posts, articles, etc. that may have been released. We will do this each week. This will be your bite-sized, digestible piece of media for you to stay caught up without doing any of that dreaded reading that you are averse to doing, which I suggest you be slightly less averse moving forward to reading, but that is certainly neither here nor there. Welcome, officially, to Logos Weekly Update. Now, before we get too far into it, I want to highlight a very recent forum post from Logos's own BKO Moves. BKO covered speeding up RLN proofs, that is rate limiting nullifiers, that is the spam protection mechanism developed by the Logos Collective and implemented in the Logos stack. You can find this forum post at forum.vac.dev. You can search for speeding up RLN proofs, search BKO Moves username there. If you're following the Logos accounts on social media, you can find the links to this article and others. I do suggest you seek them out. RLN is a critical piece of the Logos stack. Another recent article is the State of the Logos Network January Roundup. You can find this and others like it at press, that is press.logos.co. That is also where you'll find the calendar for all of the broadcasts and streams. Programs and shows. And Nadeem says ETH Research is also exploring RLN to rate limit AI. Well, isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting, the parallels, pun intended, between Logos and Ethereum researchers? It's almost as if Logos is filled with some of the most hardcore and hardened Ethereum people itself. Press.logos.co is where you can find all of the articles and media and pertinent information for front-facing things. But the common theme is logos.co. And if you haven't gone there yet, why not? The status network security model, essentially, indeed. We can count on one hand how many ICOs, as I realize that me doing this with my hand just triggered my camera, and now it's moving. You can count on one hand how many ICO projects from 2017 are still around, and you can count on even fewer digits how many ICO projects from 2017 are still around. still developing meaningful things. It took the world 9 years to realize privacy was important. Since then, all of a sudden, it's starkly important. Now, I massively digress. Press.logos.co for the State of the Logos Network monthly updates. There are a lot of useful pieces within this. Another piece, the importance of proposer anonymity, referring to Logos blockchain staker anonymity. And there is another article specifically that I want to touch on by the good Dr. Corey Petty that was released just a few weeks ago. It's highly pertinent, talking about proposer anonymity, the anonymity of exposure, and how blockchain transactions leak information at every layer. Blockchain privacy is something deeply considered, researched, and worked on with the Greater Logos organization, core contributors. And you too can find this article at press.logos.co, which is, by the way, distinctly different from ps.logos, which is Parallel Society. Logos.co. The Logos Weekly Update is sourced from roadmap.logos.co. Each protocol submits on a weekly basis all of the progress that has been made towards the various milestones, of which there are many for each of the protocols. This week we had 5 teams reporting in, including Anon Comms, Logos Core, Logos Messaging, Logos Blockchain, Logos Storage. And those are the 5 pillars of the greater Logos ecosystem. Roadmap.logos.co is where you can go to find all of these updates, dig as deeply as you desire into the progress over the years, and find direct links to milestone definitions and the ongoing work and code being shipped in GitHub, the research that is the foundation for all of the work. Et al. Can be found at roadmap.logos.co. There it is. So as we go through these updates for the report generated on the 9th, this Monday, if anything does strike you as interesting specifically, that link there, roadmap.logos.co, is your destination. Now, I repeat it so much, I don't want to over-belabor it. Belabor it? Over-belabor it? Can something be under-belabored? But if you look at the abundance of progress that is made each week, it should make you as excited as it does me. 5 teams reporting 60+ pull requests and updates. Another milestone closed. Did Anon Comms close another milestone? We'll find out shortly. 1 new repository created to join the family, the litany of repos in the Logos ecosystem. We'll touch on the key highlights now, going from left to right across your screen. Bear with me. And if there is something that you would like me to dive further into or need more clarity on, maybe I can provide it, but ask your questions in the chat or start digging yourself. Roadmap.logos.co. On the AnonComms front, the team achieved another milestone to deliver an RLN prover module enabling gasless L2 transactions. What is the status of gasless L2 transactions? Including a white paper draft, if I am not mistaken, and I do not think that I am. This is the third week in a row that the AnonComms team, which is the newest team in the Logos galaxy, has shipped a milestone. 3 milestones in a row, 3 consecutive weeks. Congratulations on the fast iteration from the AnonComms team. So, the RLN prover module that enables gasless L2 transactions milestone has been shipped. It doesn't take too much effort to connect the dots on what that might influence. Are there any gasless? What are the status of gasless L2s? Are there any upcoming? I can firmly say yes. Moving from left to right, the Logos core team launched the new design system repository and integrated it into the core app with updated UI components. The Logos core app is very much the foundation in the Logos vision as we move away from a browser-based experience towards native applications. Logos core sits at the center and foundation of this movement. The Logos messaging team produced its first external pull request for libchat. The CI workflow implementation advancing open source collaboration, meaning that while the Logos messaging team works on the libchat library, they are making it more straightforward and easy for open source contributors and contributions to come in so that you, the aspiring Logos contributor, will have the guidance that is required to be able to ship meaningful code, open your own pull requests, get your own cookies as a contributor to the Logos stack. Messaging team again completed the Chat CLI demo app with local file transport and persistence for storage integration testing. Another AnonComms update. The AnonComms team implemented the multi-burn RLN proof support and launched RLN aggregator nodes for authenticated slashing. The Logos core side package manager has been extracted as a standalone library, improving modularity and reusability across projects. So as I understand correctly, any protocol or project can use said package manager for their contributions. A couple of Logos storage updates now. Storage team added most of the C bindings APIs in the storage module for the Logos core integration as Logos storage makes its way into the Logos core app reality. Also from the Logos storage team, the file sharing bug fixes for node freezing and shutting down and iterator disposal crashes have been fixed. Callback removal from synchronous calls. The cleanup is efficient. On the Logos blockchain side, a triplet of updates here. First, the internal DevNet has been launched. The first ever Logos blockchain release with Faucet, multi-platform Docker images, and Swagger API docs have been shipped. This is an incredible milestone and a very exciting milestone. The token program has been refactored into usable crates. full Logos execution environment, Bedrock integration with Sequencer, Indexer, and Explorer have been wired together. And last but not least, from the Logos blockchain team, the compressed block proposal RFC is ready for general review. They have begun research into proof of work bootstrapping. Now, if you are interested in any of the aforementioned updates or protocols specifically, your destination is roadmap.logos.co. That is where you will find the reports that we were just viewing, and each of the 5 components can dig specifically into each component. There are weekly updates, roadmaps, of course, FERPs, which, if you did not know, stands for functionality, usability, reliability, performance, and supportability, and is the framework in which Logos approaches its technical components. Of course, what is an app? What is a product? What is a piece of software if it doesn't function, isn't usable, isn't reliable, is non-performant, and can't be supported? Well, it wouldn't be anything at all then, would it? So the FERPs framework is what is used at Logos to define specifications. And if we're going to get very technical, there's a FERPs plus, and that plus stands for privacy and security features that do not conveniently fit under the 5 other acronym letters. Now we've really gone into the weeds, haven't we? So for any protocol that you might be interested in, storage, for example, you can click in, you can find the weekly updates. And I cover the highlights here on this program. But if you want to get very granular, you can find these updates in the roadmap. And as you find links to things you are interested in, it will lead you to where the code lives in GitHub. And that should take you most of, if not all the way there, in terms of where you need to go if you are looking to contribute or otherwise be more informed about what is going on. I mentioned it off the top. I want to touch on it again. Press.logos.co is the Logos press engine. As I update the screen here, there you can see it now, press.logos.co. There's years worth of backlog in, not backlog, but rather content at this site. Logos is not a fever dream that came into reality a few weeks ago, but rather has been a movement that has been growing and building and adapting to the constantly changing environment that is life for the better part of a decade. And the proof is in the pudding that is at press.logos.co. I mentioned the State of the Logos Network report. There's a more technical, specific dev update. It was released just a week ago. The importance of proposer anonymity, building freedom without gatekeepers, which is an article written by Logos community member Josiah Warren. I also mentioned the anatomy of exposure, how blockchain transactions leak information at every stage by the good Dr. Corey Petty. Logos community member Severoni came in with the article, The Bitcoin of Governance, Logos, and the End of Westphalia. The brave and powerful Sterling, host of the Logos Spaces, has shipped Story of the Network from cybernetics to blockchain communities, and on and on. And each of these articles that I have mentioned have either been released in the last week or the last month, and it goes on. It goes on, and it is there for you to discover. Press.logos.co. Once again, roadmap.logos.co for the specific technical progress and updates. Now, as all of this is coming together, and as you can probably tell, there are many moving parts. And as they all come together, so too must the documentation. And it is. And in the very near future, during these sessions, I will be pointing you towards them as they become available. At this very moment, roadmap is where you should be going if you are looking for your immediate next step. And as the docs come together, we will be pushing them out and publicizing them as you choose your own path of contribution and usage, implementation, integration, etc. Tomorrow is the Thursday Logos X space. It is the community-based space. It is where guests are interviewed and community members are encouraged to join the conversation if you are so keen. And if you are slightly more shy, you can certainly be in the audience, submit your questions, give your asynchronous feedback or commentary, or real-time feedback, commentary, submit your questions. That is your opportunity to get in the conversation. There's no gatekeeping. Everyone is welcome. Each week, along with the weekly update stream that you are in attendance of right now, we also do the Logos Dev Club, which features Logos community members and integrators of Logos tech, live and vibe coding, as to the taste of whoever the guest is. And is overall the more technical, focused, longer form session. The next one is coming up this Monday. As the schedule of broadcasts and releases and things important to be kept in the loop on, at press.logos.co, there is a calendar. As you can see, today is the 11th, and the Logos Weekly Update is highlighted. You can plan your content ingestion accordingly. And this is where you can find the source of truth. As third-party platforms and social media sites are sometimes reliable and maybe other times not so reliable, certainly cannot rely on them to not censor you. But logos.co and press.logos.co, the Logos Forum, forum.logos.co, are where you should be looking towards as I take you to the forum. Do sign up at forum.logos.co if you have not already. There is years and years of backlog, or content rather. I made the same mistake twice. Years and years of content backlogged or logged there. And it's another place where you can join the conversation in a more asynchronous fashion. And just as we started with Parallel Society, so too will we conclude with Parallel Society. It is fast approaching. If you are anywhere in the Iberian region, I do encourage you to look into it. And if you are further outside of that perimeter, I encourage you to look even harder, as it will take just a little bit more energy and effort for you to get there. But it certainly will be worth it. P.S. That is Parallel Society. .logos.co. Lisbon, March 6th and 7th. Get your tickets immediately. That is going to be our brief time together here today, my friends. I will see you all tomorrow. We'll be bringing video. We will begin featuring video during those spaces starting tomorrow. Looking forward to that. If you haven't yet signed up for the email list at logos.co, do so and you will get your invitation to office hours, which is happening this Friday and will continue to happen. Nadim comments, and I emphatically agree and concur. Amazing work by the Greater Logos team, and it cannot be stressed enough. The Logos team, meaning when I say team, the core contributors of Logos, the 100 plus, well over 100 plus core contributors that have been working on the Logos protocols, of which I ran through the updates earlier, is incredibly dedicated, is among the most quote-unquote hardcore Bitcoin and Ethereum people that have been around since the inception, basically, or very, very early beginnings of both of those protocols, Bitcoin and Ethereum respectively. It is a foundation and a core of true cypherpunks, most of which their faces you will never see, and hence, hello, you have me. But as the cypherpunk ethos lies at the very core and foundation of both Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm very comfortable saying that it's doubly so for Logos. And some of the most hardcore, dedicated, and great contributors to both of those protocols are contributing to Logos. Personally, it's incredibly exciting for me to have this proximity to a movement as important as this, and it is important. That's not hyperbole. It is about as important as anything else happening in the world these days. So I thank you very much for sticking with me as we have ripped the cord on the lawnmower that is the Logos Broadcast Network, and now we're warming that engine up as we get ready to mow some serious grass. Last time from me, folks, Parallel Society, Lisbon, March 6th and 7th. I expect to see you there. ps.logos.co is where you should go. Until next time, I am Chair. I'm here to prop you up. Logos Network, the Logos Collective, the Logos Movement, logos.co. Until I see you tomorrow. Todos es mentira desde el mundo. Todo es mentira, la verdad. I'll see you tomorrow.